With Colton, I mean, I was reading your questionnaire a while ago and it said, you know, pick one word to describe him. It's always been mature. He's never acted like a kid. Colton's always had different interests than what the family business does. My older son, he helps us run it and he's good at that, and tried to tell the boys was, if you can find a job that it doesn't seem like work, well then you're going to be happy.
I don't really know why automotive didn't stick with me. My dad used to work on old Ferraris and paint them and storing like antique cars. So that never really took with me, but it's obviously really cool that they do that. I don't know, I just found more interest in competing and then competing in a format that I found really fun, which was just gaming instead. Hi, I'm Colton Wall, otherwise known as Coltonw83. I'm a pro Clash Royale player for Complexity. I am 20 years old.
That's him, he's Tigger.
Well, he's always been a really good kid. He definitely, when he makes his mind up about something, you're not going to change it, even I would say from the age of 2 on. Some of the earliest memories I have of him is before he could read, he played little video games and was really good at it, and that's what he spent his time doing.
All the time.
All of the time.
I mean, we have a picture of when we're at a family gathering at a Christmas get-together, and all the kids gathered around to take their pictures, and Colton's there in his nice clothes and his little spiked hair, and he's got a Game Boy in his hand. But that's kind of tells you, that's what he concentrated on when he was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old then?
Yeah, then he was, yeah.
He was playing games.
I think my earliest memories of gaming were, my parents say I started when I was playing games when I was like 2. I think like Reader Rabbit or something was what the game I played was back then. It was like educational stuff. Yeah, so I live in a really rural area. I went to a really small school. I'm kind of the odd man out. I played video games and there weren't too many people around, so like no one to like go riding bikes with or anything.
I don't know that Colton had much choice. He kind of gravitated toward video games at a young age. And when we living out here, that really served him well because he didn't have anybody else to play with. I mean, I don't know how old he was before he ever learned how to ride a bicycle. But when you're out here riding a bicycle by yourself, it's not much fun. The biggest problem out here is, I mean, they have it everywhere, is just Wi-Fi. I mean, it's a pain in the butt.
Wi-Fi was a struggle for us when I was growing up because we're in the middle of nowhere, basically. And the Wi-Fi signal was awful, so I didn't actually get in. I got into multiplayer gaming kind of late. Eventually, though, I got into WoW. That was my first game, and I played it for like 3 or 4 years when I was like 13. And then I picked up League, and I played that for like 3 or 4 years. Towards like my senior year, and then once I got in college, I started playing Clash Royale, and then I realized it was pretty good, so I played it more, and I enjoyed the game very much. And then I ended up playing that a ton.
Presenting the Red King. He's a gentleman, a wizard. He called in sick today to travel here. So, maximum respect for Colton W83!
I had probably started playing Clash Royale sparingly in like my senior year of high school. Played in Spanish class a lot, so that didn't help me on when I joined a Spanish team. I didn't know Spanish. I started playing, I beat all my friends, and then I realized, oh, I want to play on like a competitive team, so I started playing in a clan called SMF TGM. It was ran by a YouTuber at the time that had been a big in Clash of Clans. So I played on that, and then we actually ended up winning our first online league.
Just don't have a very good. Matter of fact, when Colton first started with Clash Royale, I guess you used to go to Walmart parking lot, get a signal, so he could play.
I qualified for CCGS in the
The Walmart parking lot here in Gainesville. He even like got outside of his truck and was screaming in the parking lot.
People probably thought he was nuts.
And I do these little leagues. I won some. I won one the first season of I heard about King's Cup. A bunch of cool YouTubers going to be there. They said the prize pool was like pretty large, like 20,000s or whatever, 30,000s. And all you had to do was qualify in the last heat. So out of 100 people, you just had to be like, I think like top 20 or something to get a $100 gift card. So my plan was to go there and to spend less than $100 so that my money evened out and it was worth it because I'm a frugal person. I think my thought process in deciding to go to King's Cup was, one, it just interests me. I'm only like 2 hours away, so why not? All my favorite YouTubers like Orange Juice, Clash Royale, Chief Pat were there, so it'd be cool just to meet them and then to meet the other competitive players that I know were planning on going that I had been playing against in these like online leagues. Some of these players that I like idolized and was like somewhat scared of. Yeah, so I kind of shrouded some of like what I was doing in mystery with my parents because I wanted to tell them enough that made it sound like it was a good idea for me to go, because I technically could have gone without asking them in the first place, but that would have been bad on my conscience or whatever. So I did get their approval, and then I went, and then I kind of told them that it was a tournament, but I didn't actually, I wasn't going to tell any of my friends or family about it unless I actually got in the money first.
We were sitting here like two old people, but they got what, to the top 15 and started streaming it on YouTube.
It took us a while to find it, first of all.
First of all, we didn't think that, well, it'll probably be recorded and we can get to it later. So we had our iPhones out and we were taking pictures of the TV or shooting video. I'd do it a while and then Darla would hold it a while.
Because we didn't know how it worked.
Yeah.
And our oldest son was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe y'all were doing that.
Tower down just to a measly 24 HP. And we knew that was going to be coming to conclude it.
Whew. Another YouTuber bites the dust.
That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I was kind of hoping to see maybe Molt drop like the minion horde on top of the tower when it had 24 hit points left. Then you drop a lightning spell and hits 3 minions and doesn't hit the tower.
I went into it knowing that I could win the $100 gift card. I remember that was my entire like justification for going. I never expected, not so much to make the final, the bracket that puts you in for the big money. Like I think making the first round alone was like $1,500. I never expected to make that, but I mean, I went in and I wasn't, in the early rounds, like I wasn't losing. And then yeah, so I ended up going all the way, getting second place, $10,000, immediately had to go back to college. Moving from Texas to California was kind of like an out there thing for whatever. I have still no idea entirely why I decided to do that. It just felt right, which is kind of weird how it all led up to this. And then we finally decided, I decided to piece together, put myself out there, piece together a way to get to LA to go to that tournament that was like 2.5 hours away. But it was close enough to make it a possibility, asked my parents to go, and then yeah, just that decision to ultimately go to King's Cup changed my life, and now I'm able to do something I love for my career.
I think he did use it as a measuring tool for himself, because he even said to me before, he said, I don't know how I'm gonna do at this tournament, but I wanna see. I think that was affirmation to him, hey, I think I am pretty good at this game, and maybe there's something to this. And so I think at that point, he even started working harder at it while he was going to school. Right
after King's Cup, I mean, it kind of all blew up. We had no idea. I mean, Colton just right away, well, I met Matt, this guy Matt, and he wants me to play on his pro team, and kind of went from there. The
first org that contacted me was actually Matt, who's now our current coach with Complexity. But he had his own org called Mastery, and he, right after King's Cup, I want to say, he reached out to me and wanted to contract me for a pretty small amount, but more than anything I'd been offered at that point. It was an opportunity, and most of the people understood that within like my old clan. Just an opportunity to go like pro at the time. I think I was also one of the first players for Mastery, as I was the first player from Complexity, and in both situations I kind of helped fill out the team with good players and build it up.
Se viene la final, cuidado con las rocas,
Llega ahí, Colton se lo lleva.
Colton se lleva la partida 3.
So I was picked up a while after Mastery by Queso, decided to do that, that's why I was still in college. And then I eventually went to Spain on their flight and won that Gamergy tournament, and then came back, and then that was kind of at the tipping point where I finally decided to do it full time, and I eventually decided to move out to Spain to potentially play in tournaments with them there, because in Europe there's a lot more tournaments.
I was really excited that he was going to have the opportunity to do that. But at the same time, I was concerned. But I think even Colton was a little bit hesitant at first to leave college to pursue it, simply because it's all so new. And where League of Legends and some of these other PC games have been around for a while, mobile is really new. He had conversations with both Ray and myself about what should I do. So he definitely didn't just go to King's Cup and win second and then say, okay, I'm gonna completely put college on hold and go after this.
And that was really fun. We had our own team house. Lots of the guys there were cool. It was really cool to see like what foods they had, some of the habits they have. Europe has way too many doors without locks.
You probably get tired of hearing it, but as a dad, just pull your head out of your ass and think about what you're doing. And like I said, have your head on a swivel, pay attention. You're in some place that you're not used to, that you're a foreign person. And I think these travels have really opened up his eyes and taught him how he needs to act and carry himself.
Hey everyone, my name is Jason Lake and I'm founder and CEO of Complexity Gaming. Today, it's my extreme pleasure to be able to announce our first mobile title. We are opening up a Clash Royale division. For our first player, we're also really excited to announce Colton Wall. We're confident Complexity fans are really going to like him and be excited to cheer for him as our very first mobile gaming player in history.
So there were multiple reasons I signed for Complexity. First was that I like representing the United States of America. Asia dominates a lot of esports, and I think we have the potential to be the best in the world in Clash Royale. And I want to prove that NA can actually be the best in the world. So that's one thing that kind of like is in the back of your mind. Not one of the main reasons, but like something that like national pride.
I mean, he's kind of the quarterback. He's the one that has to make sure everything's going right. But Colton being in that community, as long as he has now, as short a time as it's been, he's got knowledge of, okay, this player can do this player can do that. You need to stay away from that player. And he and Matt are pretty good at that, I think. They know who they want, and I think they got some good players.
Well, mobile esports, I think, are like the next generation of esports. It's kind of ironic how traditional esports fans make fun of mobile because traditional sports fans do the same with esports because it's something new, it's different. Traditional esports and PCs are much closer to mobile esports than traditional sports are, so it's weird that they kind of do the same thing to us. But the thing about Clash Royale is there's no PC version that's superior. Clash Royale is less mechanically intensive with like your mouse and your keyboard, and it's more about mental. So if you're deciding to go pro in esports, like any game, really the things that set you apart are like dedication, wanting to put in the work to do it, watch your replays, go over, play in a community event, and just put extra effort into it. Don't just play the game, do all the things that no one else wants to. And that's the thing that changed my life, and it was a slow transition. It's not something that happens overnight. I'm really excited getting ready for CRL because it's like the first time where everyone is on the same page. We have a really good team together that is willing to put in the work and continually looks to get better even though they're already great, because the best players in the world don't stop when they're on top or when they're close to the top. They keep on working. And everyone else is going to be doing that. So the best thing is the preparation and the effort everyone is going in to prepare for this league. And I think that's what's going to set us apart. We're not taking anything for granted, and I think we're really doing that. We're putting ourselves in a position to win, and I think that's one of the reasons why we can win NA and potentially win Worlds as well.
Make sure to check it out right here. Our newest video, we release new ones every day, so make sure to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and you'll get notified.